What's up, guys? We're going to go over the Macdirks Warriors because they're remastered, they're coming back, they're cheaper than before, and they'll look slightly better. And you can use them with some of the things that they're coming with, or other things, including Gilbert and, of course, Alistair. So let's go over these guys. But first, let's look at these. They made them like super extra jacked this time. Even they already were before, but yeah. Got this ginger guy, another ginger guy, this old man, and this big dude. And it's basically the same models as before, except they're a little more detailed. So you can see the muscles popping out. Oh, they're like way bulkier than they were, honestly. Way bulkier. They're like, I don't even know. Look at that. And they have, they got that unique styles of weapons. I like seeing all the different weapons in Heroscape. Alright. So let's scroll down past the story for now. Okay, so you're going to get the old card and the new card. They're from Earth. You get the old card and the new card. And you know what? I think that's just the art that changed. Because there are 65 points on the old card and they weren't before. So, yeah. Interesting. And the big question with these is, when people have these cards and they go to a tournament, if you have the old stuff and the points are different, what do you use? Well, if it's a renegade event, obviously you'll use these cards. 65 points for the squad. And if it's another event, I imagine you could still use these. Many events end up being delta points anyways, and these guys are like 75 points there now. So that won't make a difference, but if someone wants to do OG points, they'll probably have to just say something about original points or renegade points or whatever. But either way, these guys are going to be solid. One of my top 5 favorite armies is these guys. And yeah, we'll go over why. They look maybe a little weak, but they're not. They're not. We got human, common squad, warriors. They're wild warriors. Medium 5. 65 points is pretty cheap. 5 move is normal. 2 attack and 2 defense is weak. So yeah. But they have really cool powers. So human champion bonding. So let's look up who, before taking a turn with Macdirks Warriors, you may first take a turn with human champion you control. It doesn't say Jandar. So let's see who the human champions are here. Champion. Human champions in all time. We got Eldgrim. Finn, the Viking champion. Thorgrim, the Viking champion. Sir Hawthorne. Sir Denric. Sir Gilbert. Alistair Macdirks. And that's it. That's still a lot. So if you have Sir Gilbert with them, you can make them much faster than 5. Typically they can either all advance quicker, or you can end up getting guys moving like 7 spaces on average. And they can get stronger when they're next to him, and when he gets wounded if he's the chosen hero for this other Highlander Fury power. Which I'll go over that now before we talk about the other bonding options. Highlander Fury. It says, at the start of the game, choose a human champion you control to be the chieftain for the Macdirks Warriors, for all the Macdirks Warriors. While a chieftain is on the battlefield, Macdirks Warriors you control increase their attack value by 1 for each wound on the chieftain. Macdirk warriors cannot attack their chieftain. So, most of the time you can attack your own figures to get something to trigger, but you can't do it with this, but that's okay. I mean, if you take anyone other than Alistair, then you're basically not going to get powered up unless you use something other than the Macdirk warriors to wound your hero, because then their attack goes up. So, the best choice is Alistair, in my opinion. The next best is Gilbert, in my opinion. But that's because they both have 6 life. So you can get up to 5 wounds on those heroes, which brings the Macdirk warriors up to 7 attack for all of them. So if you have Gilbert and he has some wounds, you can run in with some massive attacks with some higher than normal speed. And if you have Alistair can take it, which we're going to go over them both in a second, but Alistair has 5 move, 5 attack. So he's great at hitting things, and then once per round he can take a wound and move and attack again. So why that's great is you can run in, hit somebody, and then you can run away to safety, just putting 1 wound on Alistair each round. And when you're facing melee people, that's very easy to do. When you're facing range and some other things like ninjas and stuff, he might be in more danger then, but you can end up just putting a wound or 2 on him, run away, and then these guys got like 3 or 4 attack. Or if you really know what you're doing, or you just feel like running Alistair away constantly, you can get them up to that 7 attack here. But typically it's nice to get Alistair in some trouble. If he takes some wounds, then it's time to run him away. But before that happens, you can hit with some massive attacks of 5 and 6 on height. You can take double turns, take the Krav out easily, take out ranged characters easily, and then just run them somewhere safe. And that powers these guys up dramatically. So I think Sir Hawthorne has 6 life too. Which in that case, he'll just have to get him in trouble and hope that the enemy attacks him so that these guys get powered up. Or use someone else in your army to do damage to him. He also can betray you. So that's not nice if that happens. But that's an all-time anyway. And then, let's see, Elgrim's all-time. He's not really a good option for that, but they can bond with him. Finn and Thorgrim are good options to bond with, but not really for Highland Fury, because they only have 3 life that they can add to these guys' attack, which would be 5 at the most, which is good, but not when you only have 1 life left on them. And they can give boosts as well, so lots of options. I really like Alistair with them the most by far, though. And this is why I like them so much, because they come in, hit harder than any other squad, and they survive only a little less than average, so. And you get 5 activations. A hero, oops, we're talking a lot. You get the hero, and you get the 4 squad guys that can go. That's 5 guys running around, and Alistair can sometimes take 2 turns. So you can get 6 attacks in a turn sometimes, like a third of the time. So, yeah, they're just one of those things where, like Death Chasers, you run in and hit really hard. And if you kill your opponent before they kill you, then they can't kill you, so. That's why these guys are so nice. And 65 points is cheap. So, in Contemporary, I can't wait to use these guys. I don't know if they'll be the very best thing, but they'll definitely be up there. Especially with a lot of unique things like the Queen and Scavarith and everything. You can run in and whack them real quick. But you have to be careful with Alistair in those cases. Then you want to keep him safer and maybe only give these guys like 4 attack. Just using overextend on Alistair because you don't want him getting an egg implanted in him and then him dying, or Scavarith wrecking him by taking 2 turns of his own in a row of like 7 attack. Because once these guys go down to 2 attack and they don't possibly have a bonder, that is really bad. So I believe I didn't see it in the auto load builder, probably because I didn't have it selected. But we also have Joan of Arc. Yeah, let me do pre-release and click that as well. So, yeah, you have Jeanne d'Arc as well. So she's a nice little 40-point cheapo with, you know, solid offensive abilities, and then Shield of Faith can help somebody like possibly Alistair to live longer. And Reach is nice, so she could be a good filler for them as well. Maybe run her in earlier, or get Alistair a couple wounds and then run her in, and then give Alistair Shield of Faith and use him the rest of the time. Could be good. Oh, there we go. Alright, so that's a lot of talking about them. We got their lore. I believe this is already a thing on the old stuff, but I'm not 100%, but we'll read it. We'll read it because a lot of you might not know about it. So it says, Duncan Macdirk falls heavily behind a pile of boulders, gritting his teeth as he clutches at the fresh burn mark across his shoulder where the Geist Fire's blast has just grazed him. So this is new lore. Moments later, his comrade Angus, like a burger, crouches down beside him as an explosion sends sod and pebbles raining down around them. Spelled different. Got yourself a wee paper cut there, Duncan. Will you be needing a blanket and some warm milk, lady? Oh boy. Angus grins through the trickle of blood dripping down from a gash on his own forehead. Duncan coughs through the smoke and dust and grins back at his companion. You're one to talk, Angus. Did ye go bumping your head on the way to breakfast this morning? What this? Angus points to his forehead. Oh, that's nothing, lad. Why, I remember that time fighting in Ekstrom alongside those Viking brothers. Finn had a bloody spear sticking right through his arm. That bloody legend kept swinging that magic sword of his. Took out what must have been 3 whole battalions of orcs on his own. Oof. So, yeah, they can bond with Finn, and they have fought with Finn, apparently. That's pretty cool. He killed a ton of orcs. Alright. Duncan smiles at this memory. Ha, that's nothing. Just the other day, I saw that flying bloke with the cape shrug off some bloody acid from one of those great bug critters, just to save Lane from getting his bleeding head torn off. The 2 Scotsmen break into a rib-splitting round of laughter. So they saw somebody else recently flying with a cape. So Superman or something. Someone said maybe a vampire or something. Huh. That's crazy. Well, anywho, let's continue. Hey lad, I thought Lane was about to wet himself there and then, Duncan wheezes, clutching his chest. What about that wee French lassie? I swear I saw her walk through a whole pack of vipers without so much as a scratch. This is Jeanne d'Arc. I'd have nay thought it the first time I met her, but I'll fight alongside that lass through bloody anything now. This is awesome, actually. There's mentioning so many people. Angus wipes a tear from his eye as the pair's chuckles fade away. Hey Duncan, I need that. I needed that. Now, what say we show these bony critters what it means to take on a warrior of the clan Macdirk, eh? For Clan Macdirk, for Jandar. Scotland forever. So they're all about Jandar, but still, they're Scottish heritage. And yeah, they fought alongside Finn, Joan of Arc recently, and some caped fellow flying. I don't know if they said it was a guy or a girl for that, but someone was flying in a cape, so neat. Neat. Lots of cool stuff in that lore. Tell me what you think about the Macdirks, who you like bonding with the Macdirks, and what you thought about that neat lore. And if you haven't subscribed and you want to, please do. Especially if you want to hear more of this and see battle videos later and whatnot, because I do a lot of that, and Gen Con's coming up soon, so if you want to see that, whether you're going or not, that would be that'll be a fun whole bunch of videos. So we'll see you guys next time.